All right, so I want to draw out an animation of what fear of man looks like in a relationship. And so you see on the screen here, I have a little fellow, and then I have a big fellow. And we will call it father and son because this is the most common ways that you will see fear of man acted out. And most definitely, this was my story, as my father was an abusive man. He was a harsh, unkind, cursing, selfish, manipulative, belligerent, and physically he would harm us. And so he was a very powerful person. And many of us have had that experience in our parental relationships. It could also be your mother, but it could also be a sibling or some other person in your life, especially when you are young. This is where the early shaping influences in an individual's life. It sets the trajectory to how fear of man grows throughout their life, and then it continues to accumulate as they grow older. And unfortunately, I spent a quarter of a century bound by the fear of man because of, one, the Adamic influence, being born in Adam, and you come into this world with a high sense of shame and guilt and fear and those types of things. And then a father, in my case, comes along and he amplifies this internal depravity that I have, what I carry in my soul. And so it is exacerbated to where fear of man grew significantly in my life until I was 25 years old, when I was introduced to the living Logos and the written Logos, and God regenerated me, and that began the long process of transformation. And so when you think about fear of man and the thing that manages you, it could be an individual, as I've been describing, like, say, with my father, but it could be someone, or it could be something, it can be people, it can be things. The foundation that we stand upon is not just craving the approval of a father. We can be craving other things, and those other things or other people or something or someone, that can be the foundation. And of course, if we lose those things, then it will most definitely cause us to crumble because we're insecure. Our faith, hope, trust, belief, confidence is in something that can be taken away. As you see in the bottom right of the screen, and this is really the problem, I have written the letters G-O-D. And so in this picture, the dad is very large in this little boy's life, and God is terribly small. And so therefore, the dad manages the little boy. He controls him. Now, the question that you want to ask is, what is the real problem? And as you look at the screen, I would like for you to quickly answer the question, what is the problem? What is the real problem? I mean, there is a secondary problem, which is what you're looking at, by the way. That's the secondary problem. But there is a deeper problem. There is a core rooted problem that you have to identify. What is really managing him? Is it the man that you see on the screen, or is it something else? The answer to the question is that it is something else. I want to give you a list of synonyms. You see them. I'll read them out for you, for those of you who are listening to the podcast. These are the things that's managing the little boy, not the man, but these heart idolatries on this list here. Here they are: significance, acceptance, approval, respect, honor, and love. These are the things that the little boy wants. He wants to feel significant to his daddy. He wants to be accepted by his daddy. He wants to be approved, respected, honored, and loved by his daddy. And then the last thing on the list, the seventh thing, is rejection. Rejection is the opposite of the first six. This is the one thing that he doesn't want. And so it's two sides of the same coin. The coin's the same, and it just depends on how you want to talk about it. You could say what he wants from his daddy is significance, acceptance, approval, respect, honor, love. Or what I don't want from my daddy is rejection. All of these things control the little boy. This is what's in his heart. You see, the dad is like a soda machine. The soda machine is the big box standing there towering over the little boy. But what the little boy wants is not the big box. There's something else. These little idolatries. What the big box can give me. What the soda machine can give me. My daddy can make me feel significant. He can make me feel accepted or approved. He can make me feel respected or honored or loved. Or my daddy can reject me. And so the power is in the hand. Thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on what my dad does or doesn't do, he has power over me. But it's not really him that has power over me. It's these hidden idolatries, these things that I crave that I want him to give me. And that is a essential understanding of how fear of man operates, because we can be focused on the secondary issue in the picture, which is the towering man. Now that is important, and I would not want to minimize that, but what I do want to do is to amplify and maximize the true heart idolatries, because if you don't root out fear of man at its core, then it will resurface in another way. And so the dad can die. The dad can go away. You can leave home. But you can't run away from these hidden idolatries until you truly do what Paul says, to put off this former manner of life and renew the spirit of your mind and put on a new person that looks like Christ. And so it's important to see the tertiary issue, the towering man, and the primary issue, these 7 heart idolatries that have captivated this little boy.